Every morning, millions of people wake up feeling stuck. They hit snooze, scroll their phones, and drift through another day, hoping that somehow something will change. But here's the brutal truth. It won't. Life doesn't reward hope. Life rewards action. Life rewards those who decide not to leave their destiny to chance. Every second you waste without a plan is a second you'll never get back. And the worst part? You already know it. Deep inside, you feel the frustration, the nagging sense that you could be doing more, being more, achieving more. That feeling gnaws at you because it's not random. It's truth whispering in your ear. You have dreams, big ones, life-changing ones. Yet without a plan, dreams remain dreams. Potential remains potential. Days pass, years pass, and suddenly you realize that the life you imagined never arrived. Not because you couldn't achieve it, but because you didn't take control of it. Imagine this. Two people start with the same abilities, the same time, and the same opportunities. One has a plan, the other doesn't. By the end of the year, the first person has made measurable progress, building momentum, confidence, and clarity. The second person? They're still stuck, wondering why life isn't moving, blaming luck, circumstances, or lack of talent. The difference isn't intelligence. It isn't motivation. It's planning. The power to design your day, your week, your life, and then execute relentlessly is the single most underrated skill in the world. And the good news? It's not complicated. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be rich or talented beyond measure. You just need a system. A simple daily system that guarantees progress. Because here's the secret most people never learn. Success isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in small, intentional steps, taken consistently. It's the person who writes down their goal in the morning and takes action that day. It's the one who prioritizes, schedules, executes, reflects, and improves tomorrow. That's how empires are built. That's how careers are launched. That's how ordinary people transform into extraordinary achievers. Motivation alone is a spark. But a plan? A plan is a flame that keeps burning day after day until the impossible becomes inevitable. Right now, you have a choice. You can drift through another day with no direction, no system, no progress. Or you can start today. You can take control. You can write your plan. You can follow a system that moves you forward, even when you don't feel like it. Because here's the truth. No plan means no success. But the right plan, executed consistently, guarantees progress. Every step counts. Every decision matters. Every day is a chance to build the life you've always imagined. And it all begins with one choice. One plan, one day. The question is simple. Will you drift through life? Or will you take the wheel and start moving toward the life you deserve? Point 1. The brutal truth about no planning. Let's face it, most people fail, not because they aren't capable, but because they have no plan. Think about it. How many times have you watched someone with raw talent, who seemed destined for greatness, fizzle out? The reason isn't lack of skill, it's lack of direction. Without a plan, every action becomes random, every decision reactive, and every day a battle against chaos. Life, in its simplest form, rewards preparation. Every successful entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, every athlete on the NBA court, every artist who sells out Madison Square Garden, they all understand one fundamental truth. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Take someone like Elon Musk. You might think his success is sheer brilliance, But the real secret is the meticulous structure he puts into every day. He sets objectives, breaks them into tasks, prioritizes relentlessly, and executes with discipline. Without that system, even a visionary like Musk could easily get lost in the noise. Now let's bring this closer to home. Imagine waking up with a vague idea that you want to be successful. You spend the day answering emails, scrolling social media, and reacting to what life throws at you. By evening, you feel exhausted, yet no real progress has been made. Compare that to someone who wakes up with a clear plan. They know their main goal for the day, they schedule time for deep work, and they tackle the tasks that truly move the needle. One day of planning doesn't seem like much, but repeated consistently, it compounds into months of measurable progress. It's the same principle NBA players use in their training. They don't just hope to get better. Every practice, every drill, every shot is deliberate. The difference between a rookie who never makes it past the bench and a star who dominates the league isn't just talent. It's the plan behind the action. Without planning, the mind wanders. Distractions take over. Social media notifications, text messages, urgent yet unimportant tasks, they all hijack your focus. And suddenly, the day is gone, and you've accomplished nothing. This is why the majority of Americans feel frustrated or stuck. They aren't inherently lazy, they are planless. In contrast, the people who consistently achieve their dreams have mastered the art of turning vision into action. They wake up each morning with clarity, they prioritize ruthlessly, and they execute relentlessly. Their lives don't happen by accident. They happen by design. Here's another American-style example. Think of Steve Jobs building Apple. The iPhone didn't appear magically. Every feature, every product, every launch was the result of rigorous planning. Goals were broken down into daily tasks. Teams had deadlines. Priorities were clear. And even when obstacles appeared, the plan provided a roadmap to keep moving forward. That's the power of planning. It transforms chaos into structure, confusion into confidence, and potential into reality. So here's the brutal truth. Talent, ideas, or motivation alone will never create lasting success. Without a plan, even the most gifted individuals drift aimlessly, wasting precious time and energy. Planning isn't a nice-to-have, it's non-negotiable. It's the foundation upon which all achievement is built. Today, take a moment to ask yourself, are you wandering through life reacting to what happens, or are you building a roadmap that guarantees progress? Because the moment you start planning, your potential stops being abstract and starts becoming real. Your life doesn't have to be a series of missed opportunities. The difference between stagnation and success is as simple as one choice: to plan, execute, and move forward deliberately. No plan means no success, but the right plan changes everything. Point 2. The power of small daily goals. Success doesn't come from massive leaps. It comes from small, deliberate steps taken consistently. Think about it like building a skyscraper in New York City. No one starts by placing the top floor first. Every beam, every brick, every bolt matters. Each day contributes to the structure that eventually towers above the skyline. The same principle applies to your life. Many Americans dream big. They want to start a business, write a book, run a marathon. But without breaking those dreams into daily actionable steps, they never get off the ground. They wake up inspired, but by the end of the day, they're exhausted and haven't moved closer to their goal. That's because they're thinking too far ahead and forgetting that the journey to extraordinary results is built in small, intentional actions. Take someone like Serena Williams. When people see her winning Grand Slam after Grand Slam, it looks effortless. But behind every championship is years of consistent daily effort, hours of practice, dozens of targeted drills, mental preparation, and relentless focus on incremental improvement. Every day she sets small goals: perfect a serve, improve footwork, visualize success. She doesn't think about the Grand Slam trophy while practicing. She thinks about the micro goals, because those small steps are what compound into greatness. In your life, you can do the same. If your goal is financial independence, break it down. Save a certain amount, learn a new skill, make one strategic investment. If your goal is fitness, commit to your workout, nutrition, and recovery every day. The key is clarity and repetition. The power of small goals is in the compounding effect. One action may feel insignificant in the moment: a single page written, one call made, one task completed. But over time, these actions add up. Consider Jeff Bezos in the early days of Amazon. He didn't launch a global empire overnight. Every day he shipped packages, coded systems, refined customer experience, and reached out to suppliers. One small step at a time, day after day, year after year, created a company that revolutionized commerce. You may not be building Amazon, but the principle is the same. Consistent, deliberate action wins over talent and luck every time. Small daily goals also protect you from overwhelm. Many people fail because they see the mountain in front of them instead of focusing on the first step. The mind freezes at the thought of tackling everything at once. But when you define one or two clear tasks for the day, suddenly your mountain becomes a manageable climb. This is how ordinary people turn into high achievers. They respect the power of the day, the power of focus, and the power of consistent effort. By completing small goals daily, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you can execute. You create momentum, and momentum breeds energy. Energy breeds action, and action produces results. Even the most successful Americans in history understood this principle. Michael Jordan didn't become a legend by hitting three-pointers in games alone. He made thousands of shots in practice every single day. Oprah Winfrey didn't inspire millions overnight. She consistently showed up on her shows, delivered value, and built trust every single day. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is the daily commitment to small, purposeful actions. So, here's the challenge. Start today. Identify one meaningful action that will push you closer to your goal. Execute it. Repeat tomorrow. Then, the next day. Over weeks and months, you'll look back and realize that the small steps you took consistently have built a life you once thought impossible. The power of small daily goals isn't just a strategy. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, and the engine that guarantees progress. Big dreams are built one small, intentional day at a time. Point 3. Prioritize ruthlessly. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning that not everything deserves your attention. Every successful American entrepreneur, athlete, and creator knows this truth. Your focus determines your results. Distractions are everywhere. Emails, texts, social media notifications, meetings that don't matter, people who drain your energy. Without ruthless prioritization, your day will control you instead of you controlling your day. Think about Mark Cuban building his empire. He didn't waste hours on minor tasks or entertaining every new opportunity. He focused relentlessly on the activities that would actually grow his businesses. That single-minded approach is why he went from a struggling entrepreneur to one of the richest and most influential self-made Americans alive today. Prioritization isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Busy work gives the illusion of progress, but in reality, it's just motion without momentum. Look at any top performer in the NBA, NFL, or Silicon Valley. They don't just train harder than everyone else, they train smarter. They know exactly which skills will create the biggest impact and pour their energy into those areas. Everything else is either delegated, delayed, or discarded. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is the ability to say no to the trivial and yes to what truly matters. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the most famous investors in history. His approach to prioritization is legendary. He asks himself, what is the 20% of actions that will generate 80% of results? And then he focuses only on those. Everything else, meetings, distractions, minor decisions, is eliminated or ignored. That's the power of ruthless prioritization. It allows you to do fewer things, better, and achieve extraordinary results. In your life, this principle works the same way. Identify the few actions that will truly move the needle toward your goals. Protect those actions fiercely. Make them non-negotiable. Treat them like the sacred appointments they are. Ruthless prioritization also protects your energy and your sanity. Every decision you make requires mental bandwidth. When you spread yourself too thin, every task becomes overwhelming. You lose clarity. You lose confidence. And your progress stalls. Successful Americans, whether it's CEOs like Jeff Bezos, athletes like LeBron James, or entertainers like Beyoncé, understand that focus is power. They block distractions, streamline decisions, and concentrate on high-leverage actions. They know that it's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things with intensity every single day. Here's a practical example. If your goal is financial freedom, don't waste hours scrolling investment forums aimlessly. Prioritize learning one strategy, taking one concrete action, and measuring its impact. If your goal is health, don't chase every new diet trend. Prioritize the workouts and habits that give the biggest return on energy and time. Success doesn't come from spreading yourself thin. It comes from concentrating your effort on the vital few. The brutal truth? Most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they waste their energy on trivial tasks. They're busy without progress. They're occupied without results. And every day that passes without prioritization is a day lost. But when you learn to ruthlessly choose what matters, your life transforms. You start moving deliberately, like a guided missile aimed at your goals. Distractions fade. Confidence grows. Momentum builds. Your actions stop being random, and every step begins to count toward real, measurable success. Prioritization is the backbone of achievement. It's the secret behind every American success story you admire. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's devastatingly effective. And the best part? You can start today. Identify your vital few, protect them, focus on them relentlessly. Say no to the rest. Because in the end, your results are determined not by what you do, but by what you choose to focus on. Ruthless prioritization isn't optional. It's the foundation of unstoppable progress. Point 4. Time blocking is a game changer. Planning your day is not enough. You need to schedule your time with precision. The most successful Americans, from tech entrepreneurs to professional athletes, understand this truth. Your calendar is your most powerful weapon. Time blocking is the secret tool they use to ensure that every minute is spent on high-impact work. Think of it like this. A football team doesn't just show up on game day and hope for the best. Every player follows a meticulously structured schedule, from morning workouts to practice sessions to film study. Every minute is accounted for. Success isn't random, it's scheduled. And your life deserves the same discipline. Take Elon Musk, for example. He famously divides his day into 5-minute blocks. Every task, every meeting, every email is accounted for. This level of planning may sound extreme, but it's what allows him to run multiple billion-dollar companies simultaneously. Without time blocking, even the most talented and motivated individuals get lost in the chaos of emails, calls, and unplanned events. Time blocking creates structure, and structure is the bridge between your goals and your results. It transforms vague intentions into actionable plans and makes progress measurable. Time blocking also protects you from distractions. Let's be honest. In today's world, distractions are relentless. Social media, notifications, emails, meetings that don't matter, they all compete for your attention. Without clear time boundaries, it's easy to waste hours on low-value activities while your real goals languish. But when you assign dedicated blocks to your most important tasks, you create a protective bubble around your focus. During those blocks, distractions are irrelevant. You are fully immersed in deep, productive work. This is exactly how top performers maintain high output without burning out. Consider Serena Williams and her training routine. She doesn't just practice tennis. She time blocks every component of her training. Strength, agility, drills, recovery, mental visualization. They each have their own dedicated slots. By compartmentalizing her day, she ensures that nothing is neglected and every moment contributes to her ultimate goal of excellence. You can apply the same principle in your life. Whether it's building a business, creating content, or learning a skill, assign clear time slots for your priorities. Respect those slots. Treat them like unbreakable appointments. Time blocking also instills a sense of control. When you know exactly what to do and when to do it, your day stops being a chaotic blur and starts being a series of intentional steps toward your goals. It reduces stress, eliminates wasted energy, and reinforces discipline. Every time you stick to your schedule, you prove to yourself that you can manage your time and, by extension, your life. This creates confidence, a quiet, unshakable belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. Here's a simple framework you can implement today. Block 60-90 minutes for your most important work first thing in the morning, before emails or social media can steal your focus. Schedule smaller, lower-impact tasks later in the day. Reserve time for reflection, planning, and learning. Guard your time fiercely. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of your schedule. Top achievers don't wait for motivation, they schedule it. They don't rely on luck, they allocate it. Time blocking isn't just a productivity hack. It's a game-changing habit that turns ordinary days into unstoppable progress. Remember, the days of reacting to life are over. By taking control of your time, you take control of your future. Every block you protect, every task you focus on, every distraction you eliminate moves you closer to the life you've always wanted. Time blocking is the tool that separates dreamers from doers, the busy from the successful, and ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. Start today. Schedule your time, honor your blocks, and watch your life transform, minute by minute, day by day. Point 5. The daily system that guarantees progress. Success isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. This is where a simple daily system comes into play. A system so effective that if you follow it every day, progress becomes inevitable. Think of it like the training regimen of elite athletes or the morning routines of top CEOs. They don't rely on inspiration or luck. They rely on a proven structure that turns intention into action and action into measurable results. The difference between people who achieve extraordinary success and those who stay average isn't talent or resources. It's consistency in execution. And the heart of that consistency lies in a daily system. Let's break it down in practical terms. Start your morning with reflection. Define the one main goal for the day. This isn't a vague wish or a hope. It's a deliberate, specific target that aligns with your long-term objectives. Every successful entrepreneur, from Richard Branson to Mark Cuban, begins their day knowing exactly what matters most. This clarity ensures that energy and focus are directed toward what truly moves the needle, instead of being scattered on trivial tasks or distractions. It's the difference between wandering aimlessly through a day and walking with purpose. Next, identify your top 3 tasks. These aren't minor chores or low-impact activities. These are the high-leverage actions that, if completed, will make the day a success. Jeff Bezos famously built Amazon by relentlessly focusing on the important few rather than the urgent many. The same principle applies to your life. By narrowing your focus to a handful of critical tasks, you channel your energy into work that produces results. Each small victory reinforces momentum, creating a positive cycle of accomplishment. Once you've identified your tasks, it's time to schedule them intentionally. Time blocking, as we discussed earlier, ensures that your priorities are protected. During these dedicated periods, eliminate all distractions. Social media, emails, and non-essential interruptions are off-limits. The most productive Americans understand that execution happens in focused bursts, not through scattered effort. By honoring your schedule, you turn planning into action, action into momentum, and momentum into progress. The final piece of the system is reflection at the end of the day. What did you accomplish? What didn't work? What can you improve tomorrow? This step may feel simple, but it's essential. Without reflection, progress stagnates. Continuous evaluation allows you to adjust, learn, and refine your approach. Think of professional basketball players reviewing game footage. They don't just play and hope for improvement. They study, analyze, and tweak. You should do the same with your daily system. Each day is an opportunity to get better, smarter, and stronger. This daily system isn't about perfection. Some days you'll fall short. Some tasks won't get completed. But the habit of structured action ensures that even small steps accumulate into massive results over time. It's a system that turns ordinary people into high achievers, day by day, task by task, decision by decision. The magic is in repetition. The power is in consistency. When you follow a proven daily system, even when motivation wanes, progress continues. You are no longer at the mercy of willpower or fleeting inspiration. You have a structure that guarantees results, provided you show up every single day. Here's the takeaway. Success is not random. It's a product of deliberate action, guided by a clear system executed consistently. Motivation is temporary. Talent is limited. But a daily system? It's unstoppable. When you wake up tomorrow, don't just hope your day will be productive. Plan it. Execute it. Reflect on it. Repeat it. That's how ordinary people transform into extraordinary achievers. That's how your potential becomes reality. And the truth is simple. Anyone can follow this system. It doesn't require wealth, connections, or genius. It requires discipline, focus, and consistency. Master this daily system, and progress is no longer a possibility. It's inevitable. Point 6. Overcoming distractions. In today's world, distractions are relentless. Social media notifications, emails, group chats, news alerts, and countless other interruptions are constantly competing for your attention. If you don't manage them, they will manage you, and your goals will slip further away with every scroll and every click. The truth is that most people fail, not because they aren't capable, but because their attention is fractured. Without focus, talent and effort are wasted. The most successful Americans understand this principle better than anyone. Focus is not a luxury, it's a superpower, and distractions are the kryptonite. Think of professional athletes like LeBron James. On the court, he blocks out the noise, the crowd, the pressure, the commentary, and concentrates on one goal: winning the game. Off the court, he applies the same principle in his business ventures and personal growth. Time and energy are finite. Every moment spent on distractions is a moment lost, a step further from your dreams. Just as LeBron isolates his focus for training and preparation, you must create boundaries that protect your most valuable asset: your attention. The first step to overcoming distractions is awareness. Identify what derails you most. Is it endless Instagram scrolling, constant checking of emails, or trying to juggle too many tasks at once? Once you identify your distractions, create a system to manage them. Top performers don't rely on willpower alone. They set strict boundaries. Turn off notifications during work blocks, set designated times for checking messages, and create a workspace free from interruptions. Your environment should serve your goals, not sabotage them. Another crucial factor is deliberate habit formation. The human brain loves shortcuts and comfort. That's why it gravitates toward distractions. They're easy, pleasurable, and instantly gratifying. Overcoming distractions isn't about avoiding them forever. It's about training your mind to seek focus instead of comfort. Tony Robbins emphasizes rituals and systems for this reason. When focus becomes a habit, distractions lose their power. Every time you choose concentration over distraction, you strengthen your self-discipline, build momentum, and reinforce a mindset of progress. Distractions don't only steal time, they steal energy. Have you ever tried to work on a major project while constantly checking your phone? By the end of the day, you feel drained, unproductive, and frustrated. That's because your attention is your most valuable currency. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything." Protecting your attention is the same principle. Saying no to distractions is saying yes to progress. The final truth about distractions is that they're inevitable, but your response is not. Everyone faces interruptions, temptations, and chaotic demands on their time. What separates the achievers from the average is the ability to respond intentionally. You can't control everything that competes for your attention, but you can control where you place it. Focus becomes your shield and your weapon. Every distraction you resist reinforces discipline. Every task you complete without interruption brings you closer to your goals. Every day that you protect your attention compounds into massive results over time. The takeaway is simple. Distractions are constant, but your focus is non-negotiable. Set boundaries, build systems, protect your attention. Treat it as the priceless resource it is. The world will try to pull you off course, but your commitment to focus will define your progress. Just as the greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders in America block out noise to dominate their fields, you must cultivate the same mastery over your attention. Success isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about choosing what to fight for. Your fight is focus, and your victory is unstoppable progress. Point 7. Motivation is temporary. Systems are permanent. Most people wait for motivation to strike. They tell themselves, "I'll start tomorrow when I feel inspired," or "I need the perfect moment to take action." The harsh reality is that motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like a wave, and if you rely on it, you will inevitably drift. That's why the most successful Americans don't wait for motivation. They create systems that carry them forward, even on days when they feel exhausted, distracted, or uninspired. The truth is simple. Inspiration alone will never guarantee results. Systems do. Systems are permanent. Take Warren Buffett, for instance. He didn't achieve legendary status by being motivated every day. He achieved it by creating routines and systems that guided his decisions and actions consistently over decades. He reads, studies, evaluates, and invests. Not when he feels like it, but because his system demands it. Motivation may fluctuate, but the system enforces discipline. Think of it like a GPS. Motivation is a driver's mood, constantly changing, while the system is the roadmap that ensures you reach your destination, regardless of the ups and downs along the way. Consider professional athletes like Tom Brady. His peak performance isn't because he wakes up every day feeling motivated. It's because he follows a rigorous system: diet, training, recovery, visualization, that ensures excellence regardless of his emotional state. On days he feels tired, frustrated, or distracted, the system carries him. The system creates momentum that cannot be stopped by temporary feelings. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is reliable. Systems enforce discipline, and discipline produces results. The brilliance of systems is that they make progress inevitable. Take the world of business. Jeff Bezos didn't rely on daily bursts of motivation to grow Amazon. He relied on a consistent process, prioritizing customer needs, innovating continuously, and executing operations efficiently. His system produced compound results over years, transforming a small online bookstore into a global empire. The principle is universal. Systems beat inspiration, consistency beats talent, and structure beats chaos. Creating your own system doesn't need to be complicated. Start small. Outline your daily priorities, schedule your tasks, and follow through relentlessly. Review your progress at the end of the day. Adjust and refine as necessary. Over time, these daily routines accumulate into unstoppable momentum. Motivation will come and go, but your system ensures that progress never stops. Here's the key takeaway. Waiting for motivation is a trap. Talent without a system goes nowhere. Dreams without a system remain dreams. The people who achieve extraordinary results aren't the most inspired. They are the most consistent. They don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they do. And the power of a system is that it removes the uncertainty of emotional fluctuation. It guarantees that even on the hardest days, you move forward. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you followed a system every single day. Now imagine if you relied only on motivation. One path leads to unstoppable progress. The other leads to regret and what-ifs. The choice is yours. Systems are permanent. Motivation is temporary. Build your system, follow it relentlessly, and let it carry you to the life you've always dreamed of. Your future depends not on fleeting feelings, but on the structures you create today. Point 8. Measuring progress and adjusting. One of the most overlooked secrets of high achievers is this: you cannot improve what you don't measure. Imagine trying to grow a business without tracking sales, revenue, or customer feedback. Or training for the Olympics without recording your times or reps. It would be chaos, right? Yet most people go through life this way, working hard, hoping for progress, but never checking to see if their efforts actually move them closer to their goals. The most successful Americans understand that tracking results is as important as taking action. Measurement transforms guesswork into certainty, confusion into clarity, and effort into results. Take Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. Every day he tracked his performance: shots made, shots missed, defensive plays, and physical conditioning. But he didn't stop there. He reviewed the numbers, identified weaknesses, and adjusted his training accordingly. That commitment to tracking and refining is what allowed him to dominate the NBA for nearly 2 decades. The lesson is clear. Without measuring your progress, you will never know what works, what needs improvement, or where to focus next. Measurement also provides accountability. When you track your actions and results, you can't hide from yourself. Top entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, for example, are obsessed with data. They measure everything from website traffic to customer acquisition costs to employee performance. This constant evaluation ensures that resources, time, energy, and money are being spent efficiently. If something isn't working, they adjust. If something is successful, they double down. The ability to pivot quickly based on evidence separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who flounder. Now think about your own life. Are you tracking your daily progress? Are you reviewing what you accomplished each day, week, or month? Many people skip this step, thinking that consistent effort is enough. But effort without reflection is wasted. Reviewing your progress allows you to identify patterns, uncover inefficiencies, and make intentional adjustments. It prevents small mistakes from snowballing into major setbacks. It ensures that your system evolves and improves over time, just like any high-performing business or athlete's training program. The process of measuring progress doesn't have to be complicated. Start with simple metrics. Track the completion of your top daily tasks. Measure the time spent on high-value activities, or note any wins and losses each day. At the end of the week, review what worked, what didn't, and what you need to improve. Then adjust your approach for the following week. This creates a feedback loop, a cycle of consistent improvement that compounds over time. It's the exact method top performers use to turn small, deliberate actions into extraordinary achievements. Consider Jeff Bezos again. Amazon didn't become a trillion-dollar company by chance. Every decision, every product launch, every marketing strategy was measured, analyzed, and adjusted continuously. If they had relied on assumptions or feelings alone, they would have failed long before reaching global dominance. The lesson for your life is identical. Without measuring, you are navigating blind. With measurement, you gain control. You gain clarity. You gain leverage over your own growth. The takeaway is simple. Your effort is only as valuable as your insight. Measuring progress is the compass that ensures your actions align with your goals. Adjustments are the rudder that steers you away from wasted effort and toward success. Every day you track, reflect, and refine, you get closer to the life you envision. Ordinary people drift. Extraordinary achievers measure, learn, and adjust. Don't leave your success to chance. Measure, analyze, and refine, and watch your life transform into something unstoppable. Point 9. Mindset matters. If there's one thing that separates those who achieve extraordinary success from those who drift through life, it's mindset. You can have talent, skills, a daily system, and even relentless discipline. But if your mindset isn't aligned with growth, all that effort can stall. Mindset is the fuel behind your actions, the invisible force that determines whether you push through challenges or give up at the first sign of difficulty. The most successful Americans, from entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey to athletes like Kobe Bryant, understand that greatness begins in the mind. Without the right mindset, even the best plan or system falls flat. Consider Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian in history. Beyond his rigorous training schedule and natural talent, Phelps cultivated a mindset of relentless self-belief and visualization. He didn't just practice swimming, he mentally rehearsed races, anticipated challenges, and prepared himself to perform under pressure. That mindset allowed him to conquer fear, pain, and doubt, transforming potential into unprecedented achievement. Your life works the same way. When you approach your goals with a resilient, growth-oriented mindset, obstacles become stepping stones rather than barriers. Mindset is also about perspective. American innovators like Steve Jobs faced countless setbacks, failed products, and rejection before building Apple into a global empire. But Jobs' mindset turned failures into lessons, setbacks into fuel. He didn't view challenges as permanent, but as opportunities to adapt, learn, and grow stronger. The right mindset allows you to see every setback as temporary, every mistake as a lesson, and every challenge as a test of your commitment. It transforms fear into action, doubt into determination, and adversity into achievement. Your mindset shapes how you handle daily challenges as well. Life will throw distractions, setbacks, and fatigue at you. Without the proper mindset, these obstacles feel insurmountable. With the right mindset, they become manageable, even empowering. Think of entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, who faced rejection after rejection before finally breaking through. Her mindset kept her moving forward when circumstances seemed impossible. She believed in her vision, stayed disciplined, and refused to let negativity or doubt define her reality. That same mindset can be cultivated in anyone willing to do the work. Another key aspect of mindset is self-discipline and resilience. Success isn't about being lucky or talented every single day. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. Mindset is what drives you to follow your daily system, prioritize the right tasks, and protect your focus, even during fatigue or stress. Athletes, CEOs, and creators all rely on the strength of their mindset to sustain action when external circumstances are challenging. Without it, consistency falters and progress stalls. Finally, mindset fuels vision. It allows you to imagine a future that doesn't exist yet and pursue it relentlessly. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty and faced unimaginable obstacles. But her mindset of possibility, optimism, and resilience propelled her to become one of the most influential people in the world. Your mindset is the lens through which you see opportunity and the engine that drives you to take action. Cultivating a strong, growth-oriented mindset ensures that every day, every decision, and every action aligns with your highest potential. The takeaway is clear. Systems, plans, and strategies are powerful, but without the right mindset, they will not reach their full potential. Mindset determines how you respond to adversity, handle success, and commit to your goals. Strengthen your mindset, cultivate resilience, embrace challenges, and align your thoughts with your vision. When your mind is strong, your actions follow, and your life transforms into something unstoppable, inevitable, and extraordinary. Point 10. Start today. No excuses. Here's the truth that most people never admit. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or opportunity. It's action. Dreams are meaningless without execution. Goals remain fantasies without discipline. You can read every book, watch every motivational video, and listen to every podcast. But if you don't start today, all of that knowledge is wasted. The most successful Americans understand this principle deeply. Action begins now. There is no perfect moment, no right timing, and no magic formula that guarantees success tomorrow. The moment to take control is today. Consider Jeff Bezos in the early days of Amazon. He didn't wait for the perfect economic climate or the perfect website design. He started in his garage with a vision, a plan, and relentless action. Every day, he chipped away at his goals, iterated on mistakes, and doubled down on what worked. Today, Amazon dominates the world, not because Bezos waited for ideal conditions, but because he started, consistently, and refused to let excuses hold him back. Your life works the same way. Excuses, hesitation, and procrastination are the enemies of progress. Every day you delay, you allow opportunities to pass, growth to stagnate, and potential to slip away. Starting today also means taking full responsibility for your future. Most people blame circumstances, lack of resources, or outside forces for their stagnation. The truth is that only you control your actions, your focus, and your discipline. Oprah Winfrey faced poverty, abuse, and countless obstacles, yet she chose to act, to learn, to grow, and to pursue her vision relentlessly. That choice, choosing action over excuses, is what allowed her to transform her life and become one of the most influential people in the world. Action transforms potential into results. Excuses transform dreams into regrets. Starting today doesn't mean you have to do everything at once. It means taking one deliberate, intentional step toward your goal right now. Write your plan. Identify your priorities. Block your time. Protect your focus. Take action, even if it's small. Small actions repeated consistently are more powerful than massive efforts taken sporadically. The key is momentum. Once you take the first step, the second becomes easier. Once you take the second, the third follows naturally. Momentum compounds, and suddenly, months later, your life looks completely different from where it started. Another critical factor is courage. Starting today often requires you to face fear, uncertainty, and discomfort. Maybe your goal feels intimidating. Maybe failure seems likely. Maybe the unknown terrifies you. But the most successful Americans, whether it's Elon Musk building SpaceX, Serena Williams training for another championship, or Steve Jobs launching revolutionary products, embrace discomfort. They understand that growth happens outside of comfort zones. Starting today means courageously stepping into action despite fear. Finally, starting today is about commitment. It's not just a one-time decision. It's a mindset, a lifestyle. Every day you commit to your plan, execute your system, prioritize what matters, protect your focus, and measure progress, you reinforce the habit of action. Over time, these daily commitments compound into extraordinary achievements, turning dreams into reality. Waiting for tomorrow is the enemy of progress. Excuses are the chains that hold you back. But action, starting today, breaks those chains and sets you on the path to unstoppable success. The takeaway is simple but powerful. Success is not a distant fantasy. It is a series of deliberate choices, taken consistently, starting now. Stop procrastinating. Stop hesitating. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Start today. Write your plan, execute your system, protect your focus, and take that first intentional step toward the life you deserve. Because in the end, the only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is the action you take today. No plan, no progress. How daily action turns dreams into reality. Finishing word. No plan, no progress. How daily action turns dreams into reality. As we reach the end of this journey, there's one undeniable truth that you must carry with you. Your life is the sum of your daily choices. Every habit you cultivate, every decision you make, every action you take, or fail to take, builds the story of your life. You cannot leave your success to chance. You cannot rely solely on talent, luck, or fleeting inspiration. If you want the life you've imagined, the life of achievement, freedom, and fulfillment, you must take control, design a plan, and commit to a system that moves you forward every single day. The people who inspire you, those athletes, entrepreneurs, and creators you admire, did not stumble into greatness. They engineered it. They woke up with a vision, structured their days around it, and executed relentlessly. They fell, they failed, they faced setbacks, but they never stopped. Why? Because they understood that consistency beats motivation, planning beats hope, and action beats excuses. Now it's your turn. The power to change your life doesn't exist in some distant future or hypothetical perfect moment. It exists right here, right now, in the choices you make today. You have the opportunity to set goals, prioritize ruthlessly, protect your focus, execute a proven system, and measure your progress. You have the ability to overcome distractions, cultivate a resilient mindset, and transform small daily actions into extraordinary results. Every step you take compounds into momentum. Every decision to act moves you closer to the life you deserve. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to show up consistently. You only need to commit to the process. Because momentum, once built, carries you farther than talent or luck ever could. Imagine looking back 1 year from today. Imagine the growth, the progress, the victories, big and small, that would come from simply following a daily system designed to guarantee movement toward your goals. Now imagine letting another year pass without structure, without planning, without intentional action? Which future would you regret more? The choice is obvious, but it requires courage. It requires commitment. It requires saying no to excuses, no to distractions, and yes to taking control of your life today. Success is not reserved for the chosen few. It is earned by those willing to take responsibility, design their path, and act with relentless consistency. Your dreams are not abstract ideas. They are achievable realities waiting for your commitment. The difference between where you are and where you want to be lies entirely in the decisions you make today and the systems you follow every day after that. So stand up, take a deep breath, and make this moment count. Write your plan. Take that first step. Protect your focus. Execute relentlessly. Measure, reflect, adjust, and grow. Because the life you've always imagined is not a dream, it's a choice, and that choice begins today. Remember this forever. No plan means no success, but a simple, consistent daily system guarantees progress, transforms potential into results, and turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Your journey starts now. The rest of your life is waiting.